Welcome back. We are following breaking news overseas this morning. An EgyptAir plane with 66 people on board has gone missing. French President Francois Hollande saying moments ago that the plane has crashed. However, on its website, EgyptAir maintains, quote, "The reason of disappearance has not been yet confirmed despite conflicting media reports." Now, military search and rescue teams are on the scene. They are following up on an automated emergency signal sent from the plane in the Mediterranean Sea. EgyptAir Flight 804 was flying from Paris to Cairo. It was minutes away from landing at the Cairo International Airport when the flight vanished from radar. Joining us right now is aviation expert and Kyle Bailey Associates Principal Kyle Bailey. Kyle, thanks very much for joining us. We're following these comments from the Greek defense minister that the plane made sudden swerves at 37,000 feet. What's your take on this?
You know, those swerves could indicate that the plane possibly didn't break up in a million pieces. I mean, for example, if one wing broke off of the airplane, it could cause the airplane to make a sudden right turn or a left turn, depending on what wing broke off. So
yeah.
just because there was a catastrophe or if there was an explosion doesn't mean the plane broke into a million pieces.
But why would, for example, a wing break off? I mean, there were reports that witnesses said they saw fire in the sky. How do you connect the dots for us in terms of why we would see swerves and why we would see a fire in the sky?
I mean, it pretty much would mean either a missile, an explosion on board the airplane. But everyone right now is, playing it on the safe side. They don't want to rule anything out. Everything obviously is still on the table, but I would say the odds are probably like 90% leaning towards an explosion or a missile or something of that nature.
Why do you think, we've been talking this morning, John Hilsernath from the Wall Street Journal pointing out that it was only 30 minutes from landing in Cairo. So why would an explosion go off then? If there was something on board, wouldn't we have seen that sooner rather than just before landing?
These devices that terrorists make are usually, very simple devices. They're not very complex. And a lot of times, quite frankly, they don't go off as planned. There might be a delay in the timer or something might not work properly on them. There might be a barometric pressure switch on there.
Yeah.
So I mean, that could be a key factor that something perhaps malfunctioned and it didn't go off at the highest altitude or as planned.
Dagan McDowell, look, we keep looking at the potential of terrorism. We want to point out that all of the officials this morning have said the same thing, and that is we can't rule anything out. So we don't know necessarily that this is a terrorism situation. However, this keeps coming up in all the conversations.
It does appear,
we know.
Regardless of what caused the plane to crash, it looks like it's catastrophic, regardless of what caused that catastrophe, because it was last seen, detected at 37,000 feet. I wanted to just quickly ask Kyle a question. In terms of an airline swerving and what Maria was reporting from the Greek defense minister, how would they determine that? How could they see that unless they're watching? Can you see a plane at 37,000 feet from the ground?
No, it would look very tiny at that altitude. I mean, you wouldn't be able to see it maneuvering. Right. What I'm thinking possibly, I mean, could that possibly be a radar image that they're interpreting?
Okay.